If you've ever had a moment in your life that you have measured yourself and come up short, if you've ever poured yourself into an individual, a company, a ministry, a place or thing, and didn't get the results you expected. If you've ever been good to somebody who wasn't good back, this message is for you. If you've ever given your best to somebody and they act like it wasn't nothing at all, then this one, I don't know about next week or the week after that, but this one is for you. I'm going to talk about the fight with frustration. The fight with frustration.
This is the Potter's Touch.
Welcome to the Potter's Touch. I am your host for today, Sarah Jakes, and this message is for anyone who's frustrated with things not going the way they hoped they would. Instead of throwing in the towel and saying, I've had enough, Bishop Jakes has a very special message for you.
Perhaps I should take a moment and digress, if you will, and just cause you to understand, for those who might not be aware, that this is Moses, the pastor of the Old Testament. Bad. One day I'm going to do a leadership book just on Moses alone. I've learned more about leadership from Moses. He's absolutely amazing. His name means drawn out. He was called out of the water. God calls a leader out of the baby who was called out of the water and calls a nation out of the leader, drawing them out. There is always with God a drawing out. Ooh. All those who are spiritual say, ooh. God draws things out of you, things you didn't even know you had in you. He's always drawing them out of you. They don't always appear instantaneously, but over time, God uses life to draw things out of you you didn't even know you had. Moses is a derivative of life experience. It took a while, but God drew him out. Oh, it only took a moment to draw the baby out of the water, but it took a while to draw the leader out of the baby. If I say nothing else, I have preached with that alone. It only takes a moment to draw the baby out of the cradle, but it takes a while to draw the woman out of the baby. The baby comes out of the woman much quicker than the woman comes out of the baby. She's in labor. The water breaks, the baby comes, boom! You bring the baby out of the woman, and you spend the next 40 years trying to bring the woman out of the baby. I suggest to you that all life is a delivery room, constantly drawing out of you things you didn't even know you had in you. He was raised to think like an Egyptian, but he had the blood of a Hebrew, and the fighting he saw in the street was the fighting he had on the inside. Do you know what it is to have a fight on the inside while you deal with fights on the outside? It is easier to stop the fight on the outside than it is the one on the inside. He kills a man and stops the fight on the outside, and for 40 years, the would-be prince is now an outlaw running from what could have been his heir apparent. Now he runs into the wilderness, not even a slave, but a runaway convict hiding from justice. And there he has an encounter with God. And God says, go to the very place that you're running from and tell Pharaoh I said, let my people go. This is an amazing moment. Can I take, you told me to take my time, so I'm gonna do it. This is an amazing moment, not only because he goes back to the very place that he's running from and he has to face what he's afraid of. That's something all by itself. But it's an amazing moment because he gets to become the leader of the people that he is connected to but never got to bond with. It's like getting your family back. It's like making your cultural connection. Moses comes back to Egypt to lead his people out of Egypt. There's a personal investment here because now he's connected with his brothers. Brother, oh God, it's such a great idea in the mix with my people. It's a great idea, connected with your culture. It's a wonderful thing. Feels good in theory. Sounds amazing. We eat the same stuff. We like the same colors. We dance and move the same. It's cool hanging out with my folks, especially when you never had it. But sometimes things are better in your head than they are in real life. So he comes to his own people and he starts leading them out, and he's got God's power and he's got God's hand and he's got God's might, and he's trying to lead them out of something bad into something good. And you think they would like you because you know you want to be liked because you're back. And he's leading them out from slavery, and they're fighting the one who's leading them out. Moses has been dealing with these nincompoops for 120 years. Ooh, did I call them nincompoops? I don't even know how to spell nincompoops, but it felt good to say that. He has been through hell and high water. The kind of stuff you go through that only life can teach you. Life is a university. My mother was absolutely right. It is absolutely a university. And whether you want to take the classes or not, you got to take them every day. Life will teach you some stuff. He has been up and down. He's been around and around and around. They've been through snake bites. They've been through famine. They've been through pestilence. They've been attacked by the Amalekites. They've been through hell and high water. And he's been through all of it. A whole generation of them died in the wilderness because of their hateful, murmuring, complaining ways. And now he's leading their kids. And the fathers had bit on sour grapes, and the teeth of the children are set on edge. What does Bishop mean by that? What Bishop means is that the kids are nasty because the parents are nasty. The children have unbelief because the parents had unbelief. I'm saying that they have inherited the attributes of their parents. They're just as hateful as their daddies were. And he's dealing with a fresh generation of hatred, and he's old. Can I speak a word on behalf of the AARP? Children are for young people. You need energy to give children what they really need, to laugh and run and frolic after you get home from work. You need to be 20-something. When you get like 60-something, your laughter box breaks in 3 minutes. Your patience runs out real quick. What you thought was cute when you were 20, you are welding a machete at when you're 50. Talking about, there's a reason why old women shouldn't get pregnant. Don't even write me. I'm not reading it. Don't even write me. Moses is in that stage, and these people are in this stage. The difference is their fathers died in the wilderness. But this is the chosen generation that will go over into the promised land. And so God says to Moses, we're going to do that thing that we did before. Only this time I want you to speak to the rock. Now the people have been murmuring and complaining. And Moses comes to God and says they're doing that thing their parents did. You know, when you have first generation trouble, you got patience and faith. But when it keeps coming up again and again and again, they're doing that thing their parents did. They're murmuring and complaining. So God says, we're going to do that thing we did before, but we're going to modify it a little bit. Instead of smiting the rock like you did the first time, God says, speak to the rock, and the rock will bring forth water. And Moses says, cool. I'm breaking it down for you.
Still to come on the Potter's Touch.
The people were frustrated with the leader, and now the leader is frustrated with the people. He should have spoke to the rock, but because he had unresolved issues with the people, it boiled over, and now he speaks to the people when he should have been speaking to the rock. Are you speaking to the people instead of speaking to the rock?
You have no idea what I've been
I
through.
can't take this anymore.
Tell frustration you've had enough.
Are you speaking to the people instead of speaking to the rock? Are you carrying your frustration to the people you love when you ought to be speaking to the rock and feeding the people you love? I thought I would be further than this. By now, I thought I would have my life together. Frustration comes through what you thought. No more bruisings are necessary. It's in the Word. The water you need is in the Word. The thirst you have is in the Word. The healing is in the Word. You don't have to go through changes. You don't have to go through crucifixion. You don't have to bleed for it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to sweat for it. All you got to do is hear the Word.
Healing starts today. Order enough when you visit our website or call 1-800-BISHOP-2.
I think it does have to come from within. And to me, if you become complacent or satisfied with what you have, then you stop pioneering, you tend to become introspective. And I feel like it's a matter of, firstly, exposing yourself. Being at leadership conferences like this one is so important because I think you get your spirit built up, you hear from other people. And I find that as long as I make sure I'm getting the right input, as long as I make sure that I'm looking after what goes on internally, then I'll always want to be looking forward and believing God for whatever that new thing is. But it has to be engineered from inside of you.
They had gotten on his last nerve. Now, you must understand, for this one little offense, Moses is blocked from getting to the promised land. He freaks out on the people and he has a meltdown and he just lets them have it. This is probably the abridged version of what he said to them, because he just kind of, you know how you do when you're talking to your folks and your folks that got on your nerves. And there is a language, that we all communicate. I don't know, I'm just figuring, but whatever he said, it was good. It was good. It was kind of, got that out of me. But it resulted in God saying to Moses, you cannot go to the promised land now because you did not obey me. And I want you to understand some things. First of all, I want you to understand that Moses didn't understand that God was using his life as an example of what he would later do with Christ. That the rock is a type of Jesus Christ. This rock is Jesus. You remember that? He's the one. The rock is the type of Christ. And the reason God wanted him to smite it the first time, but not smite it the second time, is that when he smote it the first time, it typified Christ being crucified. And he wanted the illustration, the shadow in the Old Testament, to be that once Christ was crucified once, he would not be crucified again. And so when Moses smites the rock again, he shatters the typology, he messes up the metaphor, and God judges him because he says something about the rock that is not true. He's saying that the rock has to be smitten twice to bring forth water, when Christ only had to be crucified once. Woman, if you knew who I was, you would ask me for water. Christ is the rock. If you drink of the waters that I have, you will thirst again, that you have. But if you drink of the waters that I have, you will never thirst again. If you believe on me, as the scriptures have said, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. Christ is the rock. And he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. Chastisement of our peace was upon him. With his stripes we are healed. One time is enough. Yes, sir. Moses smote the rock a second time and broke the type. Wow. Shattered it. God got upset. Now, for God to block Moses from getting to the promised land, it had to be serious. God said, other prophets have I spoke to through dreams and visions, but of my servant Moses do I speak face to face. God said, I don't give Moses is my boy. I don't give him dreams or visions. When I want to talk to Moses, I come down and say, yo, Moses, what's going down, man? Face to face. Moses has done all kinds of stuff. He murdered a man, and God still used him. When Moses' sister spoke against Moses, God struck her with leprosy. Moses is God's dude. You get in trouble saying something about Moses. Moses had gotten in God's face and argued with him, and God put up with it. Moses got in God's face and said, they're your people, they're not my people, they're my people, they're not your. They was arguing back and forth with God, and God put up with that. What was it about this? It was so horrible that God said, for this you cannot go into the kingdom. He said something about Christ that wasn't true. His action said that the cross is not enough, that he would be crucified twice. It shattered the gospel message to the chosen generation. The former generation, it didn't matter, but to the chosen generation, these are the generations who have entered into something for which they did not labor. These are the generations of people that are stepping into something that is so divine and so holy that now the water is just flowing through the word, and ye are cleansed by the washing of water by the word. The word is all you need to get the water. No more bruisings are necessary, but now through the word the water flows. Oh, they don't hear me. I'm gonna keep saying it until they get it. It's in the word. The water you need is in the word. The thirst you have is in the word. The healing is in the word. You don't have to go through changes. You don't have to go through crucifixion. You don't have to bleed for it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to sweat for it. All you got to do is hear the word, and the water is in the word, and the word is in the water, and the water is in the word, and the word is in the water, and the water is in the word, and the word is in the water, and it's flowing. The Bible says the word increased and the disciples multiplied. Whenever there's good words, you don't have to beg people to come. The word will draw the people, and he sent his word, and it healed them. And the word flowed, and it flowed. And that's why God says, speak to the rock. We've already paid the price. Speak to the rock, and the waters will flow. But Moses was so frustrated that he couldn't obey a simpler solution. And I want to tell you why he's frustrated. They were murmuring again. They were murmuring and complaining again. They were murmuring and threatening to kill Moses. And Moses was afraid for his life. He was at his wit's end, and he'd already been through it before, and he was frustrated. So number one, he's frustrated with the people. He's frustrated with the people. And when you are frustrated with the people you love, the conflict is overwhelming. It's one thing to be angry at people you don't know. But when you are angry with people you're in covenant with, the confusion is overwhelming, because one thing says love them and the other thing says I want to choke you. Now, if you haven't lived long enough to have that conflict, I won't get an amen out of you. But if you live long enough to have Mirabah on the inside and be quarreling with yourself, you see, the people were frustrated with the leader. And now the leader is frustrated with the people. The people are frustrated with the leader because they're frustrated with the leader because you have led us into trouble. And people will follow you as long as there's not trouble. You're a good husband. You're a good man. You're a good daddy. Oh, you're such a good daddy. Till we get evicted. See, people love leadership that leads you into convenience, but when the leadership gets kind of bad, murky, goes black, gets dark, they started murmuring against him. Long as manna was falling, he was cool. Ooh, manna. But they gotten hungry and they gotten dry, and now they're frustrated with the leader. And Moses goes to God, and God says, speak to the rock. But Moses was mad.
Yeah.
Okay, God, praise the Lord. I'll go down here and speak to this rock. After I speak to this people. Because frustration needs to express itself.
What?
Frustration always needs to express itself. It can only hide so long, and then it will express itself. The people were frustrated with the leader, and now the leader is frustrated with the people. He should have spoke to the rock, but because he had unresolved issues with the people, it boiled over, and now he speaks to the people when he should have been speaking to the rock. Are you speaking to the people instead of speaking to the rock? Are you Daddy, are you carrying your frustration to the people you love when you ought to be speaking to the rock and feeding the people you love? If Moses would have just got that part right, it'd all been over. You speak to the rock, you feed the people. Simple. Speak to the rock, feed the people. Speak to the rock, feed the people. Carry it to God, not to her. Vent it to Jesus, not your kid. Go to Jesus and let the Spirit itself make groanings and moanings and grunt and scream and holler, not her, not the kids, not your husband.
Lord help.
You don't tell him, tell the rock.
What?
Give him the water. No wonder the marriage is in trouble. You're venting to him. You got too much mouth in the marriage. See, you got to break it down to that third stage. When you break it down to that third stage to get it, you got too much mouth in the marriage. See? Community language. Now, the frustration with the people, the frustration with the leader leads to the frustration with the people. And all of a sudden, Moses is in a dilemma, and he had the right to be frustrated because frustration is a sign of investment.
Yes, sir. That's good. That's good.
You don't get frustrated with things you haven't invested in. Stock market crash, you don't have no money in it, you don't care. You don't feel it because you don't have nothing invested in it. Sarah could tell Abraham, put out Hagar and her child. It was easy for her to say, put that girl out. The reason it was easy for Sarah to say, put her out, she didn't have nothing invested. Now Abraham is moaning and groaning because he has investment. Wherever there is investment, there's frustration because investment creates expectation.
We're coming right back right after this.
You have no idea what I've been through.
I can't take this anymore.
Tell frustration you've had enough.
Are you speaking to the people instead of speaking to the rock? Are you carrying your frustration to the people you love when you ought to be speaking to the rock and feeding the people you love? I thought I would be further than this. By now, I thought I would have my life together. Frustration comes to what you thought. No more bruisings are necessary. It's in the Word. The water you need is in the Word. The thirst you have is in the Word. The healing is in the Word. You don't have to go through changes. You don't have to go through crucifixion. You don't have to bleed for it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to sweat for it. All you got to do is hear the Word.
Healing starts today. Order enough when you visit our website or call 1-800-BISHOP-2.
The prayer that you're trying to articulate, he already understands. The condition that you can't find the words to describe, God already knows.
For helping us reach others with your gift of any size, you will receive Stuck at a Crossroads on CD. Just visit our website or call 1-800-BISHOP-2 to get yours.
I don't want religion, I want relationship. I want connection. I want to be hooked up with the one who died for me. I want the power of God to break loose.
And when your gift is $70 or more, we will give you all 3 life-altering messages from Crossroads, Your Path to Resurrection, Power, and Life on DVD.
You can put me out of the building, but you can't put me out of the kingdom. Jesus paid it all.
However, when your gift is $170 or more, we will add this unique amplified topical reference Bible to the Crossroads DVD and the Blessing of Grace promise cards.
God needs somebody who has been exposed to the next level to lead to the next level. You cannot get people to go where you have not been yourself. That's why God fixed it for you to be here, because he wants to expose you to something that you can go back and use in your city, your vision, your ministry, your church to accomplish the thing that God.
Bishop has just brought in so many different voices that are challenging us on a whole new level in a whole new way.
Strengthened through this conference.
I am just expecting a download from heaven.
How far you can reach, how far you can go. You need to be able to be exposed beyond the people that you lead. Are you ready? must realize, my brother, you are guilty too. Before you get the lynchman's noose and hang me for my crime, get a mirror and look at yourself, because you deserve to be hung too. If you can live, then so can I.
It is my prayer that this message is helping you face those frustrations that you're dealing with in your heart. If it wasn't for the continued support of Bishop Circle and Aaron's Army, we wouldn't have been able to deliver this message to you. Because of them, we have dug wells in Kenya, preached the gospel in Australia, gone to Europe, built homes in Mexico, and even here in Dallas, we're out ministering to those on the street, helping make this world have a little bit more of God's grace. Thank you so much for your continued support of the ministry. We look forward to seeing you here next time at the Potter's Touch.
This is the Potter's Touch. Yeah.